Hi, I'm Akeem Henry. I'm a certified technology specialist, and my background is in broadcast journalism. For this presentation, I was asked by my conference program director at my current career as an audiovisual production specialist with the National Institute of Standards and Technology for my group, discussing our webcast process and incorporating NDI to our live streams for conferences. So just some background on some of the other interfaces we've used before I discuss how we would use NDI for our conference webcast. When I started, we had been using Livestream Studio and Flash Media Live Encoder for the encoding and production. By 2015, I had been tasked with updating our solution for a live webcast for NIST conferences. At that time, we faced three major problems. One was incorporating the flexibility of our infrastructure with the software. Two was to overcome an unreliable network for video traffic with rules on the firewall and a network that did not consider our streaming needs. And three, to allow viewers to see slide material and information long enough to retain the information being presented. So the left image was our settings back in 2014 for Livestream Studio. And on the right image is a trace route we did to see how many hops it was taking and where was the point of failure for where our stream was heading, so to the viewer itself. And there was suspicion of, was it the network that was clogging the stream, or was it the CDN not broadcasting the stream correctly? So we solved the software hardware compatibility issue by using different software. I tested Wirecast, vMix, Livestream, and OBS with Twitch and YouTube. And although I recommended using Wirecast at that time, we ultimately decided to use the free option of OBS software to be mindful of spending taxpayer money to accomplish our webcast goals and needs on top of the full-time live meeting and room support that AV Techs had to provide for the entire NIST staff and across different buildings. We solved the network issue with redundancy. I produced a second stream from OBS from a separate internet provider to provide as a backup for viewers. On that second stream, I solved the third problem, which was to create a picture-in-picture view within OBS where the slides would be broadcast real-time with the video of the presenter. So here you can see what I mean by redundancy: multi-bit rate streams on two different networks, distributed from two different and separate CDNs to an unlimited audience. Accommodations on viewer preference for dual windows, that's where you see on that top image. And on the bottom image, a switched view from video to content slides. And these two views were ran on two different encoders. And as a special note there, this was done at no extra cost for additional infrastructure, staff, equipment, service, software, or hardware. Now, this isn't to say we couldn't adapt to the Livestream Studio to get this done. This is just to say that we adapted to work with our signals. And so the same would be the case for incorporating NDI. So keep in mind how we were taking in those streams, the video feed on the top image coming in through SDI. We were doing that at 480p at the time. And the slide content coming in from HDMI. But next we were faced with another challenge. And that was adding an online remote presenter. So lastly, on this webcast example from a NIST webcast from 2018, we incorporated a standards-based technology to provide a reliable hardwired connection with hardware running the H323 protocol instead of browser-based WebRTC, which you would see with most online conferencing platforms like Zoom or Microsoft Teams if they are not done by phone. So a note here is something that we cannot control, whether it be H323, SDI, HDMI, WebRTC, or NDI, is that controlling the quality of what is sent to us does not change unless we also control the online presenter's environment, providing them the camera, the mics, the everything.
And with us from Kansas is Stephanie Webb and her team. Stephanie is the Vice Chancellor of Administration at the University of Kansas Medical Center. Stephanie, why don't you introduce yourself and your team?
Hi again. Yes, I'm Stephanie Webb, Vice Chancellor for Administration. I'm responsible for the support service areas of the medical center here. With me, I've got John Godfrey, our Chief Information Security Officer.
So again, on that
Pennington,
example
Director of
here, we
Information
were able to
Security, and
incorporate
Daniel Cox, Program Manager.
a speaker from the University of Kansas using existing infrastructure that we had connecting to existing infrastructure that they had as well. So what is NDI? And here I provided that definition from NDI.TV. NDI is a royalty-free standard enabling compatible products to share video, audio, and data across a local area network. Using refined encoding and communication, NDI permits systems, devices, and applications to identify and communicate bidirectionally with one another over IP, the Internet Protocol, and to capture, transmit, and receive multiple streams of high quality, low latency, frame accurate video and audio in real time. So we can look at an example of ESPN2's Get Up and Go show production in the top examples. I don't know how they did this production, but NDI is a production-based standard that, with the help of software like Wirecast, vMix, or OBS, would allow you to recreate this setup. So there's a main video playing as the background there in that image on the left, top left, and added layers for the lower third information and a constant scrolling text below for live news. Then you have the customized videos on another layer, taken from 3 camera feeds, then a 4th camera added in that top right image. The top 2 people speaking here seem to be in one studio, and the bottom 2 speakers in that video on the right with the 4 speakers seem to be in another studio on the ESPN campus there. Similar to if we had speakers from the Green Auditorium and our Red Auditorium at NIST. In those 3 images below, you can see how these interface standards began. The SDI serial digital interface, the first one on that left, was television based and commonly used with coax cable that transported cable TV, HDMI high definition multimedia interface, which we use for video and content, and brought about from companies that develop TV monitors. WebRTC, not pictured here, is a browser-based standard with your web browsers like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, etc. NDI has a production-based background, uses the network infrastructure to transport video and audio with more of the needs of a production in mind. So here, taken from that NDI.TV website again, here are different tools that have been developed for using NDI and incorporating NDI with different devices. So there's a webcam input, test pattern, audio direct, NDI for Premiere, which is video editing, NDI studio monitor, access manager, remote, NDI for VLC, screen capture, and this bridge solution is what is a huge interest, where we can take NDI off of our local area network and essentially open it up to the wide area network by offering a bridge solution. Then you have NDI for After Effects, and the website has more information there, so you can visit their website for videos and explanations as well.